Okay guys, this is Cruise Roy with the Phantom 4 Standard. It's not the Pro or the Advanced. That's the Mavic Pro, the controller, and there's the Spark. What I want to talk about is how much you trust your device. I had up-air ones, I've had Reno board type drones, ones I built myself, sport modes, racing drones, you name it. My biggest first one that I had a lot of money into with a GoPro was an Iris from 3DI. And over those trees, about a mile down, is a lake, and that's where the Iris resides right now. So it's just a short video on how much, even though all this firmware crap's coming up and DJI trying to steal our software and they're readjusting everything so you can't even really fly anywhere, that, you know, a lot of people are talking, they're just going to sell the DJIs and build their own and just stay away from DJI products. They're going to do it to themselves. You know, companies, it's funny, you know, American companies have been putting out of business for a long time. This is the first time it's going to be a Japanese or Chinese company putting themselves out of, because everybody's just going to stop buying these things. And the drones keep getting more expensive, more technology, but if they ain't going to let you fly them anywhere, they ain't worth crap, all right? So modding is just another thing that we've all been talking about. Don't need to be discussed right now. But why I like DJI products over anything I've ever owned. And there's just a good reason for it. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to start off with the Phantom 4 because it has the highest capacity battery. We're getting a little bit of raindrops here, so got to make this quick. Put the Phantom on the landing pad. We'll boot it up. The Phantom doesn't need the tablet. The Mavic doesn't need the tablet. You can control the filming and everything by the buttons. You just can't see what it's doing. So while that one's booting up, let's boot up the Mavic controller first. And the Mavic, we'll let it boot up. Wait for the green lights to all come on. Alright, the Spark's already on. I had to hook up the tablet. I tried this earlier and the Spark wouldn't take off without the tablet. So it has to be on. Alright, the Phantom's not ready yet. No sport mode. The Mavic's got GPS. Phantom 4's got GPS now. Taken off manually with no tablet. Alright, here's the tablet. Range extender on it. Alright. Now what I'm possibly going to have here is the no-fly zone error. Obstacle avoidance. Try to put them the same distance apart here. But what I'm talking about is stability, GPS control, GPS mode. The Mavic's the only one with a little screen. Maybe to be updated on the newer Phantoms. You know, where you actually have a way of telling without the tablet. Let me fire up the Spark. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Put this one over here. What I'm talking about is stability, control, all of that. I could probably let these go upstairs, go take a shower, come back down, as long as I do it within the 13 minutes that the Spark's going to be flying. I can actually get down here before the batteries go low. The GPS control on DJI products are just so amazing. You know, they'll just sit there and hover. I hope you can see this, but I'm not touching any controllers. There's the Phantoms, Mavics, and the Spark. Alright? And that's what I'm talking about. I've lost so many drones that crashed, and the earlier Phantom ones, they still had good stability, but they had no battery capability. Very low on the battery capability. So now, if you look at the trees, we're getting a little bit of wind, and they'll still sit there. Very little movement. Now, if you take a unique product, or a Hoobson, or whatever you want to do, a 3DI, which I think 3DI is totally discontinued by now, but they do not just sit there and hover. And if it's windy, they're even worse. So this is Cruise Roy. It was just a little tidbit today. I was out flying and I was thinking about it. I goes, how crazy is this? 3 drones, no controller. I like them. I will keep them, but there's a few little things I have to do so I can keep them my way and the way I want to fly them, and that's another story for another time. But like I said, Phantom 4 Standard. The Phantom 4 Standard, if you want to go out and buy it, it's actually a good idea because it doesn't have all the restrictions that the newer birds coming out do. It's got an old brain. You might as well call that a vintage antique, but I'll tell you what, it's the most stable in the fleet. It's very heavy. It's got really good control. The camera's awesome. You get the right SD cards. The image transmission is great. The other 2 guys there, they keep updating the firmware so you can't even fly them. But like I said, I'm not touching the controller. Phantom 4 Mavic. We'll start bringing them in. I'll show you one at a time. And there's Sparky. Some people like to call it the Mavic Junior or the Mini Mavic. Come down, it's off. And I'm going to take my time shutting them down. Got to hit these buttons just right. Alright. Do you see me hurrying? Do I look scared? Oh, the Phantom 4, it's still there. Now imagine that. There was one time I was flying the Phantom 4 with the up air, and I landed the up air. I landed the Phantom 4 because I actually had it flying for a while. The up air only has like a 15-minute battery, and the up air 1, while I was putting the 4 away, hit that shed. It broke the camera gimbal, of course, is the first thing that's going to break on those, and plus all the props. So sometimes you, ooh, the landing pad wants to move around. Alright, so let me shut down the Phantom, bring it up here. Little blood juice on there from bugs. Alright guys, so you got the Mavic Pro, the Spark, and the Phantom Floor, DJI Fleet, and that's why I pretty much like these drones. Not liking DJI at the moment, but I do like their drones. This is Cruise Roy, sorry about that, and I'm out of here.